Hey, what's up out there, family and friends? It's your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, bringing you some more hits. If you're watching this hashtag replay, please subscribe, like to this channel, but fast forward 2 minutes. I like to allow people time to get on, and then I also like to share this on my Facebook outlet as well. So if you're watching via replay, go ahead and fast forward to 2 minutes, and then I will begin these hits. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I've been watching TD Jakes and a lot of the guys that I admire as they've been doing these live streams from home now with the COVID-19 response. So I've been watching how those guys always give people a chance to get on the screen. So if any of you all planning on doing this, always give your people time to get on up front. Hey, if you're out there, please, let's see eyes starting to jump on. Please shoot me a message and let me know you're out there. Right now, under this new platform, I can't see when people join. So that would definitely help me if you all say hello, because I love to my group. As of right, send this out to my outlets on Facebook. Like I said, it's a new platform. And I am going to start breaking this bread in about a minute and a half. What's up, Brad? Appreciate you joining us this morning. I'm about to start breaking this bread in a minute. Hey, Rosa, thank you for joining us this morning. Give me about 1 minute. I am sending this out. Please go ahead, like, share, comment, invite somebody that you normally would have invited, because this morning is going to be off the chain. I'm talking about the 3 dimensions of purpose. And this message stemmed from something I said 2 weeks ago, which I had several inboxes about, and I wanted to make sure that I'm able to cover it. So please, by all means, share this, like this, and invite somebody to watch it with you. That would be a blessing to me, and also it'd be a blessing to the person that's out there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to break some bread. This is the motivational teacher to the masses, bringing you these hits, high intense trainings. So if you're watching this via Facebook, please like Williams Inspire. If you're watching this via YouTube, please subscribe to Williams Inspires, because this channel can be the bridge of where you are today to where you want to be tomorrow. What's up, Stanley? Thank you for joining in here. So let me dive into these hits a little differently, because I made a comment about 2 weeks ago, and I said one of the challenges that why most of us are not where we want to be was because we have never given ourselves completely to any one thing. Yeah, I broke bread when I said that about 2 weeks ago. And I had several messages in my inbox. And this is what makes me the motivational teacher to the masses and not just a motivational speaker. Thank you, Rosa, because I want to hear back from the people on the other side of my voice. So I had several messages about how do I find my purpose, or how do I know what to give myself to, or how do I know that what I'm giving really deserves the attention. And so after hearing these, my wife and I, we were going back and forth on that. And she's reading a book right now on transformational leadership. And she was reading that book. And so she and I start bouncing ideas off each other, just off of that conversation from that person. And it's been amazing, just the dialogue that we have been able to create from just that one question. And it led me to this series that I'm going to start today called the 3 dimensions of purpose. Today, for just time, and I want to be very thorough, because I believe this is what keeps people from living their best life right now. I read stats 2 weeks ago that the average American is one paycheck from being on the street. I think COVID-19 exposed where we really were in America, that we're living in debt. We're living from paycheck to paycheck. We're going to jobs that we despise. Only 20% of people are thriving at what they do. They're passionate about what they do. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a disconnect with who we are as people and what we do every day. I am about to break bread. And so this series, the 3 dimensions of love, really I grabbed this idea from Hugh Blaine. Hugh Blaine, who wrote Transformational Leadership, I grabbed these 3 dimensions of purpose from him. However, I'm going to put the motivational teacher to the masses spin on those. And so the first dimension of purpose that we're going to talk about today is love. And I'm so blessed and thankful to be able to do what I love. It's like fire shut up in my bones. If you haven't found, what's up, Aubrey? If you haven't found that one thing that's like fire shut up in your bones, ladies and gentlemen, you have not started living. There's no way that we can live a prosperous, and when I say prosperous, I'm not talking about in dollars and cents, that we can have a happy family at home. We can have a great relationship with our spouse. We can have money at the end of the month. There's no way we can ever live in that space if we're spending 40 to 60 hours doing something that we hate every week. I am about to break bread. We're talking about the 3 dimensions of purpose, which the first one is love. I'm reminded of a story. There were 2 jaguars living in the Amazon rainforest. 2 of them. Two jaguars. One was named Jenny, and the other was named Johnny. Jenny in the Amazon rainforest. Jenny loved hunting. Jenny was a beast when hunting. Jenny was quick. She was active. She even practiced hunting, even at times when she wasn't hungry. Jenny was practicing, improving her skill set, working on being a better hunter. Even at times she wasn't hungry. She was a bad girl in the Amazon rainforest. But then you had Johnny. Johnny possessed all the skill, speed, athletic ability that Jenny had, but Johnny hated hunting. And oftentimes, because he hated hunting, Johnny was hungry most of the time and didn't have the energy to be able to wake up and go hunt. I am going to break bread. Hey, what's up, Tessa? I'm going to break bread. And so Johnny was struggling every time he went to hunt with a bad mindset. And he just got up and Johnny very often didn't kill prey unless it was wounded. And Johnny never improved himself. And I believe likewise, you and I are almost like Jenny and Johnny. Boy, I'm about to break bread. It's a simple fact that when you love what you do, you will always be more productive. I'm breaking bread right now. As long as we despise going to hunt, we will never put forth 100% effort in what we do. So the part of the challenge to us is we have to find what we love to do. We talking about the 3 dimensions of purpose. I'm going to break bread before this is over. And see, one of the challenges at the root of excellence is love. I'm breaking bread right now. If we're going to ever be excellent at what we're doing, at the root of it, we have to love what we do. And I'm going to break bread from my own experience. I know just me, I have a secular job in addition to being the motivational teacher to the masses. I'm responsible for almost $19 million for my company's business, where I manage 11 employees. And I have to approve expense reports. I have to make sure that they are excellent at what they do. I love what I do. Let me tell you why I love what I do. Because I have the opportunity. Part of my life mission is to help people become the better version of themselves. I like to say the 2.0 version of themselves. And this allows me the platform to increase my personal skills on their dime, on their time, on their watch, while I perfect what God is ultimately called to do. And see, I love the opportunity that it affords me. And see, for most of us, if we're working in an area that we don't love, we're working in an area that where we're not excellent, then at the root of us not being excellent is the fact that we're just working a job. I'm breaking bread right now. And this is not going to be one of these hits that make you want to go through a wall. This is going to be one of these hits that make you want to rethink where I am in my life. You see, I believe joy. I'm going to break bread right now. Joy comes from what we know. And happiness is a fruit of joy. See, we got to get to the place to where we're putting our life where we're useful, where we're meaningful, where we can make impact. And see, we're not making impact as long as we're doing what we don't love. When you are compelled by what you do, it's no longer considered work. It's no longer considered work. There's also awesomeness on the inside of you. Don't you dare waste your gifts and waste your talents on a 9-to-5 that only wants you to fare well. If you're not building and growing your own talents to be in a position to one day where you can manage your own, run your own, you'll always be looking to rob Peter to pay Paul. I'm breaking bread right now. If you don't see your place of employment as a piece of the big picture of who God is molding you to become, you'll only want to fare well in that place. And see, a lot of us, we look to our leadership, we look to our job, we look to everybody else for motivation and inspiration. But you should be able to draw inspiration and motivation from the inside of you like a well, because why? God is calling me to do something. God is giving me something to do. And if your 9 to 5 doesn't allow you to grow your skills, you need to find a new one. I just broke bread. Woo! If it's not allowing you to hone your skills on what you have been called to do, doing what you love. At the end of this, about midway through this motivational seminar, we're going to talk about 4 questions that you can ask yourself to determine whether I love what I do. If I don't love what I do for 40, 60 hours a week, it's time for me to get my resume cleaned off. It's time for me to get the dust off my brain. It's time for me to say I'm uncomfortable being comfortable. It's time for me to get moving in another direction. It's a choice. You better say it, Brad. It's a choice. It's time to get moving, no longer settling. Do what you love to do, and it will never be considered work. Even God said, God so loved the world that he gave. See, when you're in love with what you do, I feel this with every fiber in my being. When you are in love with what you're doing, you don't mind giving, or I like to say it this way, serving your gift. When you're in love with what you're doing, baby, it ain't really considered work. When you're in love with what you're doing, you would do it for free. I'm just so thankful that my company appreciates my value to them so much so that they give me a paycheck. But at the end of the day, I don't do it for the name on my paycheck. I do it because I'm looking to increase my platform so God can use me in a mightier way. My prayer is always, God, enlarge my territory. In order for God to enlarge my territory, I got to first be excellent at what I do right now. And at the root of excellence, you will find love. I just broke bread. We got to get moving in the direction of doing what we love. Man, you don't have to be miserable because they're giving you, $17 in dental insurance. You do not have to be miserable for 40 to 60 hours a week. You can make a change. You can make a decision to find out what you love. Even God said that he loved, so he gave. If you're stealing time, let me give you a few ways to know. Yeah, if I don't love what I do. If you wake up in the morning and you have to hit the snooze button 3 or 4 times, you're not loving what you do. I'm breaking bread right now. If you're dreading going to bed at night, knowing that morning is coming, you need to change your occupation. If you go to work and you find yourself having more negative talk than positive talk, then you're not in love with what you're doing. I am about to break bread. When you get your check at the end of the month or at the end of the week or whatever, and you look at your check and you sit there and just look at it and say, hey, this is not enough to provide for me. For I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. And you run down a list of the things that you did to think you should be making more. Then let me break bread with you. You are not in love with what you do. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not in love with what you are doing, you will always cut corners. I'm breaking bread right now. I've even gotten to the place now where I only hire people that are in love with what they're doing. I no longer mow my lawn. Let me break bread right now. I no longer mow my lawn. I hated mowing my lawn, but I did it because I just thought that's what I had to do until I found a guy that's in love with doing yard work, that's in love with mowing lawn, that he has a company that mows lawn. And I hired this guy to do my lawn. My lawn look better than it ever has. My trees are always trimmed. Always got fresh pine straw out in the front yard. My yard is one of the best manicured yards in the neighborhood. Why? Because I found a person that loves what they do. I am about to break bread. Until you have a person in your life that loves what they do, you don't really know what excellence is. Man, my sidewalk is so manicured. You can't find a blade of grass after he cut my yard that's out of place. Why? Because he loves what he's doing. I've got now, I don't care how much you charge if you're in love with what you do. Man, I'm breaking bread up in here. I will pay a premium price for somebody that's in love with what they do because they see their work as a staple of who they are. Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. Y'all better holler at your boy out there. I am breaking bread right now. They see that their work represents who they are and whose they are. They're not looking to cut corners because that represents their brand. My question is, what is your brand? What do people say about you when you are not when you're not there? How do people change? How does the environment when you are there? If the environment is negative, people can go on being negative in your environment, you are not in love with what you're doing, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, I'm breaking bread. Aubrey, you better holler at them out there. I am breaking bread. We have to continue to pursue excellence. And the only way to pursue excellence, listen to your boy, is to fall in love with what you're doing. I just broke bread. You have to get in a position, and I'm not going to be on this long. You have to get in a position where you are working in excellence, and you can never completely do it without falling in love. Boy, I'm breaking bread. The reason why some of our marriages are not working is because we are not in love with with being married. We love the idea of being married, but we're not in love with the process that it takes to become great in marriage. Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. You're not in love with the process. Any area in your life where you don't value the process of being it will always suffer, and you will never be as excellent as you're supposed to be in that area. One of my role models, Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant wasn't the greatest athlete. No, he wasn't. Kobe Bryant wasn't the fastest athlete. Kobe Bryant wasn't the most athletic athlete. Kobe Bryant wasn't the tallest athlete. Kobe Bryant wasn't a lot, but Kobe Bryant was obsessed with being the better version of Kobe Bryant on that basketball court. He obsessed with it. Why? Because he loved what he did. And you couldn't disconnect. Boy, I'm about to break bread right now. You could not disconnect Kobe's game or Kobe's legacy, his basketball career from Kobe. When Aretha Franklin, when she died, you could not separate. You could not, when they did Aretha Franklin way down there in Detroit, you could not separate her name from her talent. It was people lined up around the building for a funeral. Why? Because of the impact that she created with her talent. She was in love. Until you start making love to what you do, you can never. Boy, I just broke bread. Until you start making love to what you do, you can never get to the next. You disqualify yourself for the price of greatness. Yeah, 3 dimensions of purpose. Yeah, the fuel that propels greatness. Until you make love to your gift, until you make love to what you're doing, disqualify yourself for greatness. Until the value, your standard is above that of average, you disqualify yourself. Part of one of my COVID-19 projects, I told y'all, I'm using COVID-19 to improve my life and everything around me. One of my COVID-19 projects, I got my garage redone. I had a guy that he worked at Drury Inn, the big hotel. He was building a hotel. The hotels, they end up not having anybody working and building hotels right now. I hired the guy to come and do my garage. Check this out. I'm talking to you about value. I'm gonna get to the comments after this. I'm talking to you about value and falling in love with what you do. When I brought that guy to my house, I said, I only want to redo my floor. I said, that's it. I want to redo my floors. I want new stuff on my floors. And that guy came in. He came in my garage. He redid the floors. I thought all he was going to do is paint the floors. I honestly didn't really understand. When he was explaining to me what he was doing, I'm thinking from an average-minded individual about construction, where I'm like, okay, he's going to put the right kind of ceiling in my garage on the floor. And then, we can park and the paint won't be looking all dispersed. The guy came in there. Now, he did the right stuff to the floors. I forgot the term for it. He put specks in the floor. We got gray specks. We got white specks. And we got bone color specks in the floor. And he put them in the concrete floor. And he killed the game. The guy killed the game so much. My wife and I walked out in the garage and said, this floor almost make the paint look terrible in the garage. So by him being excellent with the floor, it gained him the contract to be able to paint the garage. And then as he was painting the garage, he said, hey, Mr. Williams, let me show you something. He brought my wife and I out in the garage, and he showed us how our lights were old and outdated and that we need to have LED lights in the ceiling instead of what we had in our garage. So in the fact of him being excellent now painting the garage, he earned the right to be able to change out the lights. Based on him doing one thing well, he got a huge contract from us based on him doing the floors well. You better fall in love with what you do. People will never discount excellence. You better fall in love with what you do. People will pay premium for excellence. You better fall in love with what you do. You better make love to your craft. I'm breaking bread. You better become one with what you do until you get to the point where your work and your name is synonymous. You disqualify yourself for greatness. You are disqualified from even walking in greatness. I don't care how much you pray, God, enlarge my territory. I don't care how much you pray, God, I want this, I want that. Until you fall in love with what you do, you can never have it. Until it's like fire up in your bones, you can never have it. I'm breaking bread right now. Boy, I'm breaking bread. I got some people chiming in this conversation. Brad shared it with others. Thank you, Brad. You ain't suffering. You ain't pushing hard enough. You better believe it. The law of pain says if it doesn't hurt, you can give more. Stop shortchanging yourself. What you say, Tessa, I'm breaking that bread. Let me get into here. I'm 20 minutes in. I'm right on time. In that book, he talks about Hugh Blaine talks about 4 questions. 4 questions to develop what you love. 4 questions to ask to develop what you love. The first question is, what do I love doing and why? What part of my job do I love doing and why? You have to ask yourself. I know for me and my job, 2 things I really love doing. Number 1 is realizing human capital. I possess one of the biggest books of business in my company. And I know for them to be successful, I need to be successful. And the most important people in my life at my job are the people that work for me. And it's my job to help them realize their human capital. Like, it ain't the machines, it ain't in computers. The most important human capital in America is human capital. It ain't the GDP, it's the people. And now you can see during COVID-19, without the people being in place, the economy can't even run. They told us that machine was going to replace people. You see how that's going right now. Without people, this economy cannot thrive. I'm breaking bread right now. If you have somebody that's over you, your manager, your boss, or whatever, and they're not invested in your personal development, you need to find a new job. I'm breaking bread right now. You need to find a new department. I'm breaking bread right now. You need to dust off the resume. I'm breaking bread right now. Do not allow yourself to settle in to status quo and mediocrity. You got to wage war on mediocrity. If you sit in mediocrity, they will allow you to continue to sit in mediocrity, pay you $14, $15, $16, $17 an hour, and knowing that you're not growing yourself, you can never demand more money. I just broke bread. If you're not becoming more valuable, you can never demand more money. I just broke bread. And there are many people that would love to see you sit there and rock right where you are, and they make more money off your work than you do. You got to always be growing yourself. In order to always grow yourself, you got to fall in love, baby. You got to fall in love with what you do. It got to be like fire shut up in my bones. I wonder, can you look at this valley of dry bones? Yes, they just need a doggone spark. And right now, you with the motivational teacher to the masses, I will provide the spark. Those valley of dry bones can live, but you can't allow yourself to not be developed. If they don't care about your development, wrong boss, wrong department, wrong job, it's time to get moving. The most important thing about what you do is your own self and personal development. I just broke bread. Number 2, what part of my work do I find most rewarding? Like, what do you enjoy doing on your job? What do you do better than your peers? What seems like it's a sweatless victory? I know when I am in front of this microphone, I got me a new microphone. I hope this is a lot more clear. When I am in front of my microphone, I transform. When I'm in front of a big group of people, I transform, because that is my opportunity to realize human capital. I love realizing human capital. The second thing I love is understanding that I am a part of a bigger picture. I am a part of a bigger picture. I understand that the 11 people that work for me, that I influence their home life with their spouses and their kids. And if their spouses and their kids and their home life is not improving because then I failed as a leader, as a transformational leader. I am connected to the well-being of my people that work. Why? Because in order for me to realize the best out of them, I have to be as invested in their well-being as they are. I just broke bread. I'm talking about love right now. One thing you would never hear me say, that it's not about me. It's not about me. Love is selfless. Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. For God so loved that he gave. Love always gives more than it receives. I'm breaking bread. And love is okay giving, understanding that there's a bigger picture in play. Man, I'm breaking some good bread out here, y'all, ladies and gentlemen. I am breaking some good bread out here. Number 3, what is the one idea, hope, dream, or aspiration regarding my work that has sparked my interest? What one thing has, man, if I could do more of this and less of this, this job would be more rewarding, or I can learn, I can grow and get myself to the next level. What part has sparked that interest in you? Then you need to be having conversations with your bosses. You need to be having conversations with yourself. You need to be having conversations house. How more of this? Even if I have to start on my own with cooking pies, how can I do more of this? See, most of us, we despise small beginnings. Marie Callender, her whole business venture started with baking one pie. It did. The restaurant was about, she was working for a guy that had a diner. It was about to go out of business. Marie said, I make these doggone pies better than anything. And she started making pies and bringing them in. And the store started selling the pies, and the pies started growing. And now Marie Callender is in 120 restaurants, and she's in every frozen food store across the nation. It all started with one pie. What do you love? What do you love doing? I'm breaking bread right now. What sparked your interest? What one thing do you do with your peers? You have to do more of what you love. Number 4, what part of my work, if I were no longer able to do it, would make my work less fulfilling? That's 4 questions. How to discover what you love. I am breaking bread. And to bring this thing full circle, just like Jenny the Cheetah and Johnny the Cheetah, our love for what we do will always determine our manifestation. Remember, at the root of excellence is love. I just broke bread. This is your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses. I know this wasn't one that's going to make you run through the wall, but this is one that's going to allow you to rethink your life, going to rethink what I do. This is why I am the motivational teacher and not a motivational speaker, because I came here to break bread, to improve your lot in life. A lot of what we have right now is based on what we've allowed to happen to us. We have to move from being pushed into life into being poor. Most of us just trying to got stuff behind us, just trying to make us just keep moving. I got to pay my bills. I got to do this. I got to do this. No, you will never live prosperously as long as you're being pushed by the demands on you. But when you're being pulled by purpose and vision, and then being pulled by your gift and God pulling you somewhere, enlarging your territory, you can get to where eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. Until we're able to get there, we will always have an average life. We'll be mediocre. We'll fit in with the rest of society. I'm tired of fitting in with the rest of the society. I am tired of people telling me what I am worth. I am tired of people putting yokes on my neck for their own selfish reasons and cause. I am tired of being average. We got to be tired of being tired and understand until that we change, nothing changes. I just broke bread. I want to thank you all for your comments over here. You all chiming into this conversation. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe to Williams Inspires. I like Williams Inspires on Facebook. And I will be doing the 3 dimensions of purpose. I will be doing the second one on Monday night. And it will be second dimension of purpose will be talent. I'm going to break bread again on Monday. So tell all your friends, your homeboys and cousins that y'all need to join up with the motivational teacher. If you hit COVID-19 and you are not satisfied with where you are in life, it seems like to me you need to be pouring into yourself right now. Come check your boy out. I am dropping fresh bread daily on YouTube. You better get some of that inspiration. It'll get you to where you need to be. Until next time, I am challenging you. Age war on mediocrity.